my God!
All right, collectors of everything, experts of none, episode 33. We're finally here, and we have, hello, Peter, very quickly. And we'll move past you because we have a guest on today who I'm very excited about, who I've been trying to get on the show for a very long time. Australia's leading coin expert, TV personality, might I add. TikTok channel with 131,000 followers on there, and Instagram with 86,000 followers on there because everybody loves money. The man, the myth, Joel Kandiah. How are you, sir?
Thanks for having me on, guys. It's a pleasure.
Was that a big intro, or was that too big? That was a bit much, or?
Oh, that's perfect. That's great. Just I'm gonna just milk it for as much as I can. Right. You know.
You're welcome. Exactly, yeah. Well, we bribed you enough to get you on finally. It's great to have you on the show. We're going to get into all things money, coins, notes very shortly. But first, I just wanted a quick shout out to everyone. If you're watching, if you're listening podcast on Spotify, make sure you're sharing with all your collector friends. We talk about all different sorts of genres here. And Peter talks a lot about Star Wars, which if you don't like Star Wars, it's okay. You can block that bit out or you can move forward. But shout out to Stan as well. 33. We're getting into the episodes now, aren't we? We're really
it's a bit crazy, man.
Yeah, no one's kicked us off any of the platforms or anything, so we must be doing okay. The couple of news things we want to get into today, Pete, is you want to talk about yours first, and then I'll have a chat about mine. You got something very interesting that we've spoken about a number of times on this podcast, so go for it.
Look, Topps came out last week and spoke about the fact that they're cracking down on like card stores and things like that selling or breaking cards before the release date. It's been a bit of a problem lately. People are always trying to get, content creators are trying to get the views and things like that, so they're pushing the boundaries of when they can actually do these things. There's nothing worse. I think it happened on a set, it might have been the end of last year. The set got broken the day before. I think it was an American Soccer League set from Panini, and the big card was the one-of-one Messi signed, and it got pulled before the set was even meant to come out.
I love it.
I mean, it's to me,
a miracle.
I think it's really good. People are, the common man is starting to get really upset with breakers and stuff like that, thinking that their boxes are loaded. Topps and Fanatics are giving them the higher end products so that it's like free advertising for them, really. And people like me who don't sort of buy into that stuff are just going, why would I bother when all the good stuff's getting done live? There's nothing 100%. That I'm going to buy that I'm going to get. So
the big question that comes up is, are they giving the good stuff to all the breakers? And I mean, I've seen that a lot in a lot of comments on social media, everything like that. And to be honest, if I had a product, you probably would want it to get broken by these guys because they've got such a big audience, right? But is it the right way to go about things? Absolutely not. They did also mention, because I read the story obviously as well, about mini distributors. So there were shops who were getting a huge amount of cards and then on selling them to other shops at a premium. So sort of like a middleman kind of thing, which was, I think, pretty crazy. And they're trying to stop that. They're trying to stamp it all out. So let's see what happens. We'll keep you posted on that one.
I think anything that's cutting into Topps' sort of ability to make money, then they're going to get upset about it.
I think so, yeah. It's not like they're cheap anymore.
I think it's a valid point for them to come out and say this stuff and go, hey, look, if you're going to do this, we're going to cut you off.
Yeah, 100%.
And then we're not going to give you anything. And, especially for sports, I don't think it's like non-sports is not that bad, but for sports, Topps is such a high-ranking, leader of that field that, if you get cut off by Topps, what are you going to deal with? Panini?
Well, it's Fanatics, right? So they own a few. Are they own Upper Deck? I'm not sure. I think
Upper Deck is part of Topps. So,
okay.
That's just like a subsidiary. So,
do we collect any cards, Joel? Any secret card collections you might have?
Back in the day, I used to collect those AFL cards. Back in like the late 90s, you used to go to AFL store and you get the cards and open them up. But the question I have in terms of the distributor model, do Topps make distributors sign an agreement with dealers before they distribute them out, like embargo dates and all that kind of thing? Because with coins, like the Royal Australian Mint and the Perth Mint,
they may do
authorized distributors sign deals or sign agreements because if they breach an agreement, then they won't get any more allocations. So that seems like the common, the easiest way to fix the problem.
They may do, I'd say they would.
I'm pretty sure that is part of the deal. Like, if you're getting the product straight from Topps, that you you have sort of I'd say non-spoken, but it is spoken. It is agreement that you're not going to sell that product until the release date.
Yeah.
So,
that's a good question. We should probably find out about that.
I assume people just don't care. And, they'd much rather sort of get the likes and the views than worry about it. Because, probably they're like, what's Topps going to do? Well, now they're going to ban you, man. And then you're stuffed, you know. So
it's obviously way more prevalent in America because there's tons of card shops in America compared to Australia. It's a big market. You don't even get a lot of the cards that come out, Joel, in America don't even make it to Australia. You generally have to buy them off eBay or somewhere else to try and get them into Australia. For example, I wasn't aware of this, so I've been talking about the Disney Lorcana cards for probably 9 months. I didn't realize they only came out in Australia just recently. So I thought they were already out in Australia. I just didn't go buy them retail. That's all. So anyway,
speaking about Lorcana, I went yesterday to a toy store to buy some Lorcana, and I said, "Oh, how much is a box?" And they said, "Well, it'll be the cost of 24 packs." And I went,
"Wow!"
I mean, what do you mean? They're like, "There's no discount in buying a box. It's just buying 24 packs."
Out of curiosity, how much were they? For the
$12 a pack.
$288.
It's an expensive little box.
Yeah. There you go.
So, because
when you're buying those,
the big thing with Pokemon is that if you buy the Pokemon boosters, or if you go in and like pre-order your Pokemon, you're getting those booster boxes for a lot cheaper than what it would be buying the 36 packs separate, like singly out of the box. So, but Disney are Disney, man. They're doing what they want. They make the rules.
Exactly.
So
they own the rules.
Yeah.
All right. Just quickly before we get into all things money, I just wanted to. I was going through all the cons that are coming up this weekend and also next weekend, and one I came across. Was called Card Party, which was in Orlando, Florida, which, like any other con, all the same stuff, same sort of website. The only difference, about this was. So how much do you reckon a VIP ticket is for Supernova, Pete?
I paid when I bought my Stan Lee ticket to go down to Sydney. That cost me about $400, but got me priority lines to meet Stan Lee, priority lines for the photos. Like True Believer seating for his panel, I think it was. But that was expensive, $400. So
so there's this con over there. So it's about $450 now for like a Doctor Who experience at Supernova, stuff like that. It's called the Gallifrey experience, $450. Anyway, I'm looking at this con, and it basically is a lot of influencers that are coming to do talks and things like that. But they had a VIP ticket for $529 US, right? Which is about just short of 800, give or take. Joel, would it be fair to say?
Yeah, you're probably right.
You're the money man. So I don't know. I'm just checking.
Correct.
And, so basically, you get a badge, you get a VIP lounge access with food and drinks, you get VIP seating at the sessions, and then a couple of limited edition party swags and stuff like that. But that's it for like $800 and all access to everything. Like, I couldn't believe it. It was the most expensive ticket I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, do you get to interact with us?
There you go.
So I had early access. I got merch. I was one row back from Chris Martin, and I paid $400.
Wow!
How are you charging $800 for that?
How good was it? How good was it in that stadium? That's a good stadium.
Amazing.
Hey? That setup in that stadium is epic.
Incredible. Yeah.
How much was that, Joel?
$400.
$400. Okay. So I went to see one of my favorite bands, NoFX, had their final tour this year, and they were playing in Brisbane. They had bro tickets. That's what they were called. And I was like, all right, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be about $400 or $500. You got beer, and then you got to stand on the side of the stage and watch the band play, and you got to meet them and stuff like that.
How good's that?
I was like, oh yeah, that'd be pretty cool. $1,600. I went,
wow, that's expensive beer,
dude. This is, I mean, how much money do 40-year-old punkers have in Australia to be able to spend $1,600 on a ticket to see NoFX?
but like, I just couldn't believe the price. So it'd be like going to an expert session with Joel and having me on a video noodling $2 coins, right? It'd just be like, it's ridiculous. There's no one that's important there at all.
No,
yeah,
it's
so
so
it's
anyway,
crazy. And for it to just be influencers as well. Like I know that people, on TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that are big. They're not that big. They're still like normal people shooting it from their spare bedroom, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So I just thought I'd mention. I thought it was interesting. Let us know what sort of prices you guys have paid for some sort of concerts, maybe, or even cons. Yeah. I'm trying to think back when we were in America. I think it was about $60 for us to get in general admission to Collecticon.
Yeah,
it wasn't too expensive. I can't remember what the VIPs were, but
the one in Long Beach, that was a big con. Like that was bigger than anything we get here in Australia.
Dude, I met the original Red Ranger. How huge can you get? Come on.
Yeah. Well, when you have to line up for 3 hours to get in, like it's a big con.
Yeah, you didn't have to line up for Coldplay for that long. I'm betting.
No. Yeah, dude. He had VIP tickets, man. He just walked in doing the Wayne's World thing with his card.
VIP. I love it. All right. So anyway, guys, as you know, the podcast is brought to you by icollekt. If you haven't checked icollekt out, it's a really awesome app. You can upload showcase, should I say, all of your collections for free. And make sure you go and have a look. You can actually download it now and have a look at it before you sign up. So once you do fall in love with it, you can then create an account, profile page, buy and sell. There's groups on there. And there's some, as I said last week, there's some really diverse sort of collections going up. A few unboxed Matchbox cars now going up, which are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Still a lot of art, still a lot of stamps, and also some, what were those figurines that went up? That was from you. Did you put those figurines up? What were they?
They were the
I had a quick look at them
the 1980s Dungeons and Dragons cartoon.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah,
nice.
So they were the 6-inch figures from the original Dungeons and Dragons cartoon from the 80s.
Yeah.
So
so they look awesome. You should check them out. They're on there now. But anyway, let's get to it. Let me just mention it again. 131,000 followers on TikTok talking about money. Joel, the history of money. Tell us all about it. How did it start? Where did it come from? I love your jacket, your jumper, by the way.
Oh, cheers.
I even wore my clean one today just because you were coming on. Usually I just wear whatever, but no, it was a special one. So talk to us. How did you get started with it? And let's get into all things currency.
Yeah, my story is a bit weird. So when I was 5, I was struggling to speak. So I had speech issues. My parents were worried. They took me to a speech pathologist in Perth, and I went there. And I don't remember this exactly, but I remember reading a report years later. And she said that she put a range of stimuli in front of me, and one of them was a cash register and play money. So of all that, I went straight to that, started playing with it, then started talking, communicating, and they're like, oh, okay, This is interesting. So, yeah, my parents then started giving me different currencies. Like, my parents are Malaysian, so they gave me Malaysian ringgits and a few other things they'd come across, and I started collecting those, and then been sort of collecting consistently through my primary school years and into high school. Yep. And then university sort of died off a little bit after my favorite coin shop closed down at the end of the GFC. In Perth, there was a big dealer who was guaranteeing return on value on these rare coins, and found out everyone wanted to liquidate their assets after the share market crashed, superannuation balances plummeted, and they couldn't liquidate. So the small dealer that was attached to the bigger company had to also close as well. So I sort of fell away during my university years, and then started teaching. I started teaching about 11 years ago, and the last school was that that's when the new $5 note came out. So the one that the new series that we currently have. And said, and I knew some bank tellers who did some work for my parents' business with their banking there. I went there. They gave me a whole bundle of $5 notes. And I hosted a note exchange at school. I said, okay, maybe I can get back into this hobby a bit more. And I created a banknote wall. And the kids at school knew me as the go-to guy about currency and all that kind of thing. Then about 4 years later, COVID hit. We were teaching from home for a couple. At least in WA, we were only teaching for a couple of weeks because Marky Mark was like, let's close the borders and we're all happy and safe now.
That's
and all
right.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then the kids asked me, like, are you on TikTok? Yeah, I said, are you on TikTok? So I said, no, I'm the Tim Tams, but I'll have a look at it, you know? I'll have a look at the platform. And I had a video, made a video about the history of the $5 note. So from the paper one in 67 right to the current one that we have. And it got like 17,000 likes and 75,000 views. It's like, people are into this. I didn't really think people would be interested. I thought, coin collecting, banknote collecting was an old person's hobby. It generally was, my experiences were going to shows and stuff. I was by far the youngest person there. Those older dealers felt they could hustle me out a deal, overcharge me, all that kind of nonsense, right? So it's, and I think, so I started making videos, and so 2020 just sort of trundled through. At the same time, I was running a failed food blog. I'm obsessed with food and all that kind of thing, as people can see. Got about 2,000 followers at the end of 2020, and then a couple of news articles came from my videos. Like, wait, why is the news reporting on what I'm doing? This is not really news, but okay, sure, why not? And then by the end of 2021, I had 100,000. About 2021, 2022, I ended up having 100,000 followers on TikTok. And then I started Instagram soon after that. And it just sort of blew up. And then Instagram's been expanding recently. TikTok for me is dead. To me, I just post videos for the sake of posting videos. But Instagram for me is where I'm able to connect with followers a lot more, because the messaging service is a lot easier for me to make proper posts and go more detail and all that kind of thing. It's been really good in that respect. So I've only been on Instagram for about 2 and a bit years, and it's gone up to 86,000 there. And so whilst I'm not the largest Australian,
terribly well.
Whilst I'm not the largest Australian collector on the socials anymore, there's another guy called Coin Collecting Detecting in Victoria, Michael, and he said he copied what I was doing, but all he does is just open coin rolls and just shows what people coins are worth. And he's got like 560,000 on TikTok and 100,000 on Insta. But my role, I guess, with this is to not talk about coin values or banknote values, whilst it's part of what we do in the hobby to understand what our collections are worth and maybe you need to sell and all that kind of thing. I'm here to talk about the history of money. I'm here to talk about design principles and the usage of it and the interactions that we have in it and the connections that are made through that and the psychology behind it. And so whilst it might not be as sexy as trying to find, oh my God, I found a rare $2 coin in my change. And sometimes I do cover that because that's how you get the initial viewers in. I want to teach people there's more to money than just its intrinsic value.
Pardon me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. Sure. That's great. So I better put this $1,000 worth of $5 notes away then. We're not going to go through them individually today. That's fine. Wrong show. I'll call the other guy next time.
I told you to wait after the show. After the show.
No, I'm kidding. No, that's great. And look, and I think you find for me, it's fascinating. And I'm old, right? So for kids, I mean, talking about money, understanding it, I find it fascinating. Even for my daughter, she loves going through coins and things like that, you know, and understanding them a little bit better. Look, I guess let's quickly talk about one question I wanted to ask was the younger generation coming through. Obviously, the Bluey coins have just come out. I did see you did a video on them. What's your thoughts on it? Do you think it's really good that they're getting younger generations in? Naturally, with your profession, obviously, you're probably pretty happy with it. Have you seen the growth coming from younger people since you started getting into it?
Yeah, the growth from the younger generation's been massive. It's what the hobby's desperately needed for the last 20 years. Because I feel my generation, so I guess I'm Gen Y millennial generation, barely any into coin collecting hobby. You got the people who are above me, you got the people who are sort of younger than me, and the younger ones are coming through. And it's interesting with the younger ones because you got to remember their interactions with money and cash has been mostly digital. Especially the Gen Zers right now. So it's mostly digital.
Yeah, right.
And then not many people really think about that because parents now, they send their kids to school, you pay for your lunches and recesses for an app or you use your card or all that kind of thing. So getting kids into ways to collect more for things that they relate to is a great way to go about it. And so even before the Bluey coins, we've seen that growth of the kids 15 and under who are really getting into it because one, there is unfortunately the flipping and selling aspect, which, the sneaker bot and all that community, all that kind of thing back on, they rely on. But then you've also got this other community who generally want to collect something and hold something tangible rather than being stuck in a digital age in that respect.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
with the Bluey coins, I think it was a natural progression by the Royal Australian Mint to release a set. And I think a lot of people have complained lately about, why didn't Mint make more? Because they only made 30,000 of each coins, which is a pretty small release with something that popular.
What's the normal release?
Yeah.
Sorry, what's the normal release of coins? What's the normal?
Well, to be fair, the normal release is around 15 to 20,000 for these commemorative issues, but the more popular ones usually push 60,000 plus. So when they did a rehash of the 2012 Red Poppy in 2022, they made 60,000 of those. But Bluey, on the other hand, it's a worldwide cultural phenomenon. Yeah. That when you go to Bunnings, when they had the Hammer Barn stuff happen, and you sold the gnomes out in no time at all, you'd think the Royal Australian Mint would do the same thing and sell more or make more coins. But the issue is their production space is limited, that they need to adjust the production timelines for all releases that they're going to be doing that year. Yeah. So if they put more towards Bluey, they're going to take one person out, because their backing, or I guess the rationale behind their releases, is telling the Australian story, and Bluey's well and truly part of the Australian story.
Absolutely.
But the unfortunate part of the Bluey release is that when the Royal Australian Mint make coins ages in advance, it takes 2 years to essentially plan a coin, get design, prototype it, get the legislation through, because
is that right?
I had a discussion with Hamish and Andy recently because they want to release their own $1 coin. I said, it's going to be next to near impossible for you guys to do it,
Yeah.
But
I love it.
Yeah, so about 2 years ago, Bluey probably wasn't as popular as it is now. And so the vintages were predetermined. Yeah. They did a good job with this in terms of the packaging, the coin design, everything. Great. It was one of the best things the Mint's done in a while. Unfortunately, sells out within minutes from dealers, sells out from the Royal Australian Mint in less than 24 hours, and the price went from $55 on launch, and then resold up to $400 within hours.
Yeah,
so
I did look at that actually a couple of days ago. I was seeing the prices. Generally, when you see this stuff hit the news, I always go and have a look and just go, man, I should have bought some. Because it was high.
Were people overseas able to buy the run? Like, because I know Blue is very popular in America. I'm sure like coin collectors over there would be chasing something like that as being such a specific coin.
Yeah.
Were they able to purchase them?
It's most dealers weren't able to sell overseas because of new restrictions put in by Australia Post about the selling of coins. But I think there's been some misinterpretation by dealers regarding the Australia Post directive, because other dealers or other sellers are still posting coins out overseas. But essentially, I'd say 99% of stock would be directed to Australia. However, the Royal Australian Mint has a few international distributors that do sell through, and they might come out through those in the next month or so. But it'll be a very small amount of what they'll have available from the original mintage.
Okay. The honeycomb $2 coin. That's a pretty popular coin now. That was a low. That was a low run. Is that the reason for it? And it got voted the best coin in the world.
Yeah, best coin in the world in 2022. So most cold coins, $2 coins, have a limited mintage of 2 million. That's usually the straight point right there. They just go 2 million. That's it. We'll make it. And it comes down to the reduction in usage of cash. So they don't see the economic feasibility of making more than 2 million. If the banks aren't ordering the coins, then they're not going to be like, we're going to make extra coins in that respect. So the honeycomb, and when it came out, it was beautiful. It was really beautiful before the awards and everything like that. Everyone knew that this coin was something to behold because the intricate design of the honeycomb, the gradient they used in terms of the yellow and the orange within the honeycomb was beautiful. Alexandra Stockich, who designed the coin, she is probably the Mint's most talented designer. She's made some incredible designs over the years. It's a beautiful coin, and the fact that it won world's best circulating coin in 2022 just sort of heightens its popularity. Like, there is a lot of interest from the United States at the moment for this coin, and a lot of Australians aren't willing to part with it because there's a good connection to it. They've got, and many people who have them are just hoarding them. They're not. They don't want to sell them. They don't want to keep them. They know one day.
What are they going for?
That value. So mint condition, they're probably posting about $8 to $10 each.
Okay.
And good. Mint rolls are probably hitting about 200 a pop. They sold for 109 at the start, but it's one of those coins that's probably going to be a slow burn which is because of new releases coming through and all that kind of thing. You'll see that value go up and then back down, up and down. The honeycomb I think it will definitely hold its value, if not increase, over that extended period of time, because it's such an iconic coin with a low mintage. It's a no-brainer. I think a lot of Australians really, really value and appreciate that coin.
Yeah. It's interesting. Sorry, you go, Pete.
Oh, I was just going to say, do you think that the Mint's like doing a really good job here in encouraging people to collect coins by releasing so many different types of unique coins through the different sort of years? Is that sort of something that they're thinking about to encourage the coin collecting and, you know, the pride in your money? Because, I mean, they could literally just print out normal coins and not worry about all this extra stuff.
It's a bit complicated to answer that question, but I want to break it down in different parts. Firstly, our Australian coins are iconic as they are. Stuart Devlin did an incredible job in designing the 1 cent to the $1 coin. The animals and the process went behind it. I mean, you look at a 20-cent coin and how you manage a 2D image to look 3D as it's flowing through water. It's an incredible coin in itself. The only issue with our circulating coinage is that it's too big. Our coins are the largest in the world. Since New Zealand redesigned their coins, reshaped their coins in 2006, our 50-cent coin is the largest circulating coin in the world in existence right now. So take that aside. In terms of what the Mint are doing now, the Mint realizes that the usage of cash is falling dramatically. Unless it sort of picks up, the feasibility of operating Mint is in question. So it's essentially, it needs to divide its operation into 3 parts, right? So first part is providing circulating coinage for Australia. Secondly is providing circulating coinage for other countries. So they provide coinage for Solomon Islands and a few other Pacific Island nations. But again, their orders wouldn't be large either, right?
Yeah.
So the big market, in order to ensure the feasibility of Mint moving forward, is provide good quality collectible items. And they were doing that really, really well up to about 2020. So there was a lot of innovation going on. That's when the era of the coloured $2 coins started. But they weren't making crazy amounts of them. They were sort of releasing 1 or 2 different types a year, apart from the Olympic years. So what's happened lately is that they're pumping a lot of coloured $2 coins to the point that a lot of people sort of feel the specialness isn't a word, but that sort of uniqueness of that coloured $2 coin isn't as great as it was before. It's oversaturated. And I think they made a big mistake in oversaturating that, but it's become down to COVID stuffed up some of their production design or production schedules and all that kind of thing. They had a lot of changes in personnel at the Mint. Ross McDiarmid was the CEO of the Royal Australian Mint up to 2020, and he is probably the best CEO there ever was for the Royal Australian Mint in terms of commercializing the Mint to what it is now. So the staff there have had a lot of upper management changes, and they're now trying to find their feet. And I think now they're starting to find their feet again in terms of more community engagement, because that wasn't happening the last 3 years. They're creating better quality products. The Bluey coin's a case in point in that, and the Honeybee $2 coin. And the other issue is the distribution of collectible coins, because the popular issues, the Mint store was crashing consistently early last year. So people were like, I can't be bothered, stuff this hobby. So they've used, I don't know, have you guys heard of EQL, the ballot system?
No.
So supposedly it's big in the US, but EQL is a company that's based in the US, and they do releases on behalf of companies, and people enter a ballot, they put their credit card details in, and when release time comes out, they get allocated. You get allocated.
I have seen that actually with shoe drops. I've seen that with shoes. Yeah.
So the Royal Australian Mint and a few of the larger coin dealers in Australia, so MR Roberts and Downies, are all using EQL now because they feel it's the only way to maintain people. Because I think now the Mint's realizing the Mint can't exist if it doesn't have a sustainable hobby future in the long run.
Yeah.
So that and they're the only federal government department that's self-funded entirely. That's the other thing they've also got to realize. So they've made a lot of revenue in the last 2 years for the popularity. So they made a lot of revenue in the last 2 years for the popularity of hobby, and they're reinvesting it quite well. They're currently gutting out the museum and then refurbishing it for an November reopening. And so they know that the 2 main points now to ensure the sustainability of hobby moving forward is creating good collectible products, that is ensuring equity and access for everyone to get their hands on it. And secondly, make the Mint a very good tourist destination for people visiting Canberra. And that's how you're going to maintain the sustainability of it, even if cash usage falls to 5% in the future. If you keep doing those things, it will still be in existence.
Yeah.
I've been to the Mint. I thought it was fascinating. It was a really good tour. We did the whole tour walking around. One of the stories, and you may know a lot more about that, well, I'm sure you do, was in regards to when they sent over coins from England. And they had to work out how to increase the coin circulation. And they gave it the job to one of the guys. And what he did was he cut the middle of the coin out to double the amount of coins in Australia. So they had large circle coins with holes through them, and then the smaller coins. Do you know about that story?
Oh yeah, so that's the holy dollar. That is the holy dollar and dump. So this is the story behind that is when the first fleet came in 1788.
Yeah.
The currency ran out pretty quickly because what happened is ships were coming into New South Wales. The colony were importing goods. The British currency flowed out pretty quickly. So in that sort of 1790 to 1800 period, they had a series of 14 coins called a proclamation coinage. And there's sort of different currencies from around the world. They were given pound sterling denominations, and then they were being used in the colony, but it still wasn't enough. So what Governor Lachlan Macquarie did, so you might know, Macquarie Bank and the logo?
Yeah.
That's actually the Holy Dollar. That's their logo, if you think about it. Okay. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if you get a Holy Dollar, so what he did, he got a forger who was convicted, and they got X amount of several thousand Holy Dollars. They punched a hole through it. They made the big coin 5 shillings. They made the small coin 15 pence. Two very weird denominations, but it worked out. Yeah. And then later on, they demonetized those, and then I think they got several thousand kilos worth of British coinage in the early 1800s to allow the economy in New South Wales to flourish after that. But it was a short-term solution to ensure. Otherwise, they'll just continue trading in rum for a very long time.
Yeah, it was an amazing story. I found it really fascinating. And I'm assuming that there is some of those still in existence, the coins, the holy coins?
Yeah. Yeah, you're looking. So there's one of the best stories from that is that someone found one in a Hills hoist. It was used as a machinery. It was used as a washer.
It's just a washer.
That's right. I've read that too.
Yeah, used as a washer. Yeah. So
Aussie.
The dump can be worth up to about. Yeah, I know. So our innovation story is right there in itself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the dump can be.
Go out and check your Hills hoist, everybody.
70,000.
Oh wow!
Yeah, the dump can be worth up to $75,000, and the Holy Dollar can push that $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 mark.
Oh wow!
Depending on condition. Yeah,
that's an expensive washer.
Huge.
Jeez,
very expensive washer.
Man,
you can buy a dryer with that. You wouldn't need the Hills.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, you can only buy half a house in Sydney for it,
Yeah, well,
that's true. Yeah. Tell me about it.
You can buy 10 houses on the Gold Coast for that. So
yeah. I love it. No, I found that quite fascinating. I do think it's great that it's free to go into the Mint and do the tour. And obviously they're making revenue, so that's good. You do a lot of shows about sorry, I shouldn't say shows. You do a lot of TikToks about the durability of the Australian note in comparison to other countries. Just give us a little bit of understanding about how that's developed over the years, why they went into those sort of notes, and your thoughts on the whole thing compared to other countries.
Yeah, I think our issue started because of this note here. The paper $10 note was the real issue that drove the whole thing. So the paper series came out in '66, and there was already forgeries that were coming out within the year. So on the back of the note, when you got good old Henry Lawson, the back of this note was forged essentially, but the telltale was to do with the Times Bakery design on the top of the watermark there. Okay. And so there was a big confidence in crisis of our decimal banknotes, but they managed to catch those people quickly and it died down. But that drove the Reserve Bank to say, we need a more durable currency to, to give people faith in our currency and to make it durable. And I guess the Australian lifestyle is we do a lot of stuff outdoors. We do a lot of stuff underwater. Mm-hmm. These notes probably aren't going to cut it in the long run from there. So they partnered up with the CSIRO, which was a great way to start this process. And it took about 20 years of consistent research and development to create a polymer substrate to make a durable note. And they came up with this, which is the bicentennial note. So this came out in '88. Same size as the paper 10. So you can see that size is
that the one?
There.
That's the one with the Aboriginal artwork on there. Is that the one?
Yes, there you go, right there. So you've got the Indigenous teenager at the back with the Morningstar pole and a drawing right there. And it had a whole. Oh, there you go. We got something there.
Oh, look at this
Man's
guy
flexing.
Yeah. All right. I've got nothing. Oh, you know what I do have? Just quickly, I'll do a flex.
Well, go on.
All right, come on.
Yeah. Oh, World Expo.
Wow.
Yeah. There you go.
88
I'm out.
Brisbane.
See you later.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a gift actually. I'm sure it's worth $5 at least.
Yeah, I'll give you $6.
You're probably right, to be honest. It is, yeah.
I'm guessing they were pretty flooded into the market during Expo 88.
Yeah. But the biggest point of contention was the holofoil. Not because of Captain Cook, and obviously now the image of Captain Cook wouldn't flow now, but back then it was fine in terms of community expectations. But the problem was the OVD, the optical variable device, could be scratched off. So the initial batch of these notes, because they realized we need to put a protective film over it. So the second run they did of those, they put a very small protective film over it so that the OVD could not be scratched off in there. So that's why we never saw the OVDs in the series after that, the actual proper series. So starting with, there's the pale $5 note. So that was the first one in the series.
Yep.
So I don't even slightly remember that compared to. So I'm just opening up my folder and just trying to find
you're right.
little bits and pieces.
It's far less. It doesn't have the pink hues as much.
Yeah, there you go. Right? There you go. So that's the difference right
wow. Okay.
So the issue is people are getting this confused with a $10 note for some reason, and they recolored this in 1995. So and so it makes sense because it follows the rest of the design principles and all that kind of thing. But Australian currency, in terms of its durability, is second to none in that. And since then, even though we don't have the exclusive patent anymore in terms of developing polymer technology, we do hold some of the technological rights in terms of the subsidiaries that are created by the RBA to develop polymer technology, sold some aspects to companies in the UK, and polymer technology is spread around the world. Like, in fact, the United Kingdom uses polymer banknotes, Canada uses polymer banknotes, but also our neighbours like Papua New Guinea, Vanuatu, New Zealand, Singapore all use polymer banknotes. So it shows a real testament that something that was just.
Because I was looking at that one there, that was one of the first New Zealand ones, wasn't it?
I don't know if it was the first New Zealand one. I think the series came out before that. But yeah, it was the millennium. So if you look at New Zealand's notes, I've got my whole New Zealand collection here.
You're a money bag, Peter. I didn't realize you had so much cash in your house, man.
Well, I didn't tell Joel, but my wife works in banks, and she was stunned with the amount of paper money that actually came through the banks, and she sort of had the opportunity to go, well, I'll just do the old switcheroo and put her money, and took the paper money with her. So we've actually been pretty lucky we've got I think it's the 1s, 2s, 5s, 10s and 20s. We've actually got a whole pile sequentially.
Sweet.
That it just runs down through all the notes and stuff like that. But then we've got like the $5 coins and stuff like that have come through. And then like these ones, which are like the $2 runs of the different. So they all just came through the bank. Yeah. So we've been pretty lucky. Yeah. I mean, like the pile that she's amassed is actually like pretty good.
Cha-ching. Look at you.
And
you're never getting paid for this podcast, Peter.
Yes. the notes are in
the dream.
Beautiful condition. So I've been really interested, but we've got these ones too. So I think these were some of the first $5 ones.
Centenary Federation ones right there.
Yeah, and then obviously I've shown those ones, which is the $10 ones. And we've got...
There's some value in those $10 ones, isn't there? So I've seen. So,
we've also been
depends
lucky.
It depends on the serial number and condition and all that kind of thing. But some of them can fetch up a good price on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with the serial numbers, why is there serial numbers that are worth more money than what, say, other ones are?
I think there are a lot of banknote collectors out there that just want to collect every type of variety there is. And so usually the varieties are first prefix, last prefix, and a general prefix. Okay. And they generally want them in uncirculated condition. And so you're essentially going to have 3 types of the same banknote for each print run that people want to collect. And there are people that I've spoken to who want to collect every single variety of every single Australian banknote. And that is a very, very, very expensive exercise, especially with the paper notes from there. So the serial numbers, first prefix, last prefix. So usually the top left corner of the banknote sheet, the bottom right corner of the banknote sheet, something in the middle, and any other variety. So between 66 and 71, there are star notes. So they had a star at the end of the serial number because there were damaged notes in the print run. They were hand sorting, so they took the damaged one out and they put a replacement note back in the bundle, and then they wrapped them up after that. So star notes are also very valuable in that they can fetch thousands easily on that.
If you get a full sheet of sequential, like a full sheet that was put through the run, is that of value if you get the first, the last, and everything in between?
As in like a bundle, or actual uncut sheet?
Oh, no, not an uncut sheet, as in a bundle. Yeah.
Oh, no, bundle. Generally, the bundles actually do all right because is a consistent number that goes 1 to 100 or just bundle consecutive hundreds. But consecutive, let's say you get a consecutive run of 5 from an ATM, they're probably not worth that much more than your face value or whatever it is compared to if it already has value on it anyway. So if you get 5 first prefixes that are sequential, you might get an additional small premium out of it. But usually sequentials don't have that extra value. I think that's a bit of a misnomer in the community that people think, oh, I've got a run of 10 consecutive notes. It's like, nothing special about those notes in general. So, exactly.
I deal in Star Wars toys, and there's a lot of people who think they're going to retire on their toys from the 1990s and get very disappointed when you tell them, sorry, dude, I'll give you $20 for it. Yeah, so
it's like 90s Marvel cards, same thing. Hey, Joel, just quickly, I thought, and I'm going to ask you a question in a second. We'll talk about New Zealand. What did you think of the gold and silver coins that came out just recently from the mint over there that were Marvel? So we were looking at them on the podcast a few months ago now. But the Iron Man one that I was actually going to buy it. I think it was an ounce gold, and it was a $50 value. I'm pretty sure. But by the time I went back to have a look at it, well, it was an ounce plus a bit, I think. So it was probably, what's an ounce now? I think maybe $3 grand, something like that.
3.6, I think.
I was fascinated with it. I went to buy it, but they were sold out. So I didn't end up getting it. But they did a great move in regards to putting Marvel on the coins, and I thought it was a sensational set. But you can't really get them anymore. Even the square ones and they were square, and then there was the triangle ones as well that were New Zealand coins. Yeah, they were quite cool. What did you think of those? Do you like that sort of stuff, or?
No, they're not my kind of thing in that respect. No, because I don't have that same passion about Marvel or that kind of thing. And a lot of those releases I'm very skeptical about those releases. If they're well above bullion value, I don't touch them because on that aspect alone, unless there's proven need or proven demand from that specific community that we are all going to get, like the Bluey coins, for example. Bluey coins are going to go up because people want blue. People are addicted to Bluey in that respect. But when you got something that's already high priced in that, and then the demand, I guess with the gold ones, they wouldn't have made many of them either. They'll probably been, I think
it was a run of 50 or 100 or something. Yeah,
exactly.
There wasn't many. Yeah.
And that New Zealand mint's a private mint, not the minted coins by the Reserve Bank of New Zealand. So the New Zealand mint is a private mint, and then sometimes they issue separate coins, like the coins that are issued by New Zealand themselves, they're issued by the Reserve Bank of New Zealand via New Zealand Post.
Right. Okay. There you go.
Just be wary when people find out buying coins from New Zealand, find out whether it's from New Zealand Mint or is it from New Zealand Post via the Reserve Bank of New Zealand.
Those Kiwis at it again.
So obviously, does it still count as legal tender over there, even though it's not from the Royal Mint?
You need to have a look at the back of the coin and see, because usually New Zealand Mint sometimes make New Zealand tender, but I don't do it all the time. They usually put maybe like Tuvalu or Pitcairn Islands or some other Pacific Island nation in there, getting permission from them and paying them a license fee in order to release coins on behalf of that country as commemorative items.
All right.
Okay.
That's what a Perf Mint does with Tuvalu coins. So if they can't make coins with Australian legal tender due to whatever reason, for example, they're doing James Bond coins at the moment at the Perf Mint. They use
cool.
Tuvalu instead. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen the? Well, you've obviously been to the mint. Is that where the kangaroo coin is?
It is. Yeah, the 1 ton kangaroo.
Yeah, the 1
ton.
It
is huge.
It is in the Perth Mint. There's a
massive.
1 ton gold kangaroo coin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like a metric.
1 ton.
The world's largest coin.
Yeah.
Wow. I saw your video, Joel.
2024. Yeah.
I saw your video of was it the casino in Melbourne that had $1 million in $1 coins?
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
That was huge, man. I was like, wow.
Oh, there's some. Yeah, so there's 4 pillars around the casino floor, and each pillar is $250,000 of $1 coins from 2015 and 2016 in them. And I was like, that is insane.
And all uncirculated.
Is that right?
All uncirculated, and still not enough to pay the fines that they were done for.
I love it. I love it. Did you see that? I don't know if it was real or not, but just quickly, that 3M did an advertisement in a bus stop, and I think it was $1 million cash inside the bulletproof glass. And that if anyone could break through the glass, they were going to give them $1 million.
I've seen that. Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's real. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Hey, tell me, what's your favorite currency?
What's my favorite currency? So I've been thinking about this very, very hard. And like,
have you?
The Australian dollar is great.
Spoiler alert, you knew about the question.
The Australian dollar is great, but I just think there's something. The new series disappointed me a bit. Like, whilst it's innovative, the clear end-to-end strip and all that kind of thing is great. It disappoints me a bit. I'm going to share with you a few notes I've got from around the world. So
yeah, great.
These 3 are from the Maldives. So they have this really nice sort of water pastel color design.
Wow.
Nice colors like that.
Yeah, they are.
Looks really cool.
And they're polymer as well?
They're polymer as well. I think they're made in the UK. So horizontal and vertical orientation.
Oh, cool.
They got this vertical orientation. To the sun.
Wow.
There's a bit of a glistening gold thing around it, which is really cool. Yeah. This was last year's banknote of the year. So Eastern Caribbean Central Bank's $2 note, featuring the legendary Sir Viv Richards.
Wow.
That was a particular. Yeah, it's really good. The security features are really cool there, like the nice glistening security strip there.
Yeah.
That's really cool. This was last year's or 2021's banknote of the year or 2022's banknote of the year. This is actually made in Australia. This is a Philippine 1,000 peso note made by Note Printing Australia.
Right.
It's a nice note. Nothing different. I think our notes look better, but this was the community felt this was the banknote of the year, so I thought that was cool. But after much deliberation, my favorite banknote of all time are the Swiss franc banknotes.
Yeah, right.
So these are really cool because of the design features within them. There's about 17 different security features in each note that public aware of. These notes are tri-layered, so it's a polymer cotton layer, and then it creates a transparent cross in the middle with the Swiss cross, which I think is a big plus.
Wow.
And then you guys missed my pun there.
No, I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
Cross, which is a big plus.
Swiss cross, sorry.
Oh, right.
Cross, which is a big plus.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these notes. I'm like, man, I've never seen these notes before. These are cool. Sorry, I was
really
glazed
interested,
over.
Man.
So,
yeah, I know. Stop laughing at us, Joel.
So, and then these are the hand signals. The hands represent different things. So, like music, light, wind.
Wow.
And then they've got each represents a part of the globe, which glistens. There's so many other features, and so they've also got 100, the 200, and the 1,000 franc. The 1,000 franc is currently the highest denomination banknote in the world in terms of US dollar worth.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
And cash usage is really high in Switzerland due to people withdrawing their cash quite a lot and storing in $1,000 franc notes, which is about 1,600 Aussie, 1,700 Aussie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just the durability's there. It feels like paper, but it's more durable than paper. The colors are very bright, so it's accessible to the vision impaired. There are vision impaired features as well, and you can literally tell yeah, it's a beautiful note. It's a very expensive note, I guess, because Swiss francs are very expensive, and Switzerland's a very expensive country.
Yeah.
But these are probably These are probably my favorite currency out of any currency there is right now.
Man, Australian notes seem crappy now. You've shown us all these cool ones, Joel.
Well, one more other thing. Sorry.
No, you.
Yeah, and England have just recently released their King Charles notes as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I went to the money changer the other day, and I managed to get one of each. So there's a Queen Elizabeth one, and then they haven't changed the note itself. So they still got Alan Turing on the back of it, but they've put Charles there. So Charles is there, and they put Charles in the clear window, and so it makes it.
Are they doing that in Australia? Are they going to put him on the notes and coins in Australia? Are you aware of that?
Well, they'd have to.
So coins already out. So the $1 coin was already out end of last year.
Okay.
They just released a whole set of the King Charles coins, and the 2024 uncirculated set.
Okay.
But we will not see Charles on the $5 note. So the Reserve Bank is currently for a process. They've just finished the community consultation process, but they're going to create a $5 note dedicated to the First Nations populations of Australia.
Okay.
So there won't be anyone on it.
Yeah, wow.
Parliament House will still be on the back of the note, but the design will be new and should be out in next. I actually met Philip Lowe last July in Sydney at an economics teachers conference, and had a chat to him about it. He said it'd be about 2 to 3 years from now. So I'd say 2026, 2027, we'll start seeing the new $5 notes coming in.
Okay.
That's cool. Well, that'd be good. I mean, it's interesting that they're not putting him on the note. It's considering the Queen's on there, but I guess it's I suppose maybe it's lost its credibility having the monarchy on the notes of Australia.
I just love the fact that, that our money is so durable. I mean, when it changed from paper money, I mean, we were sort of old enough to remember paper money, but young enough not to have sort of really dealt with it. But for us growing up on the Gold Coast, we surfed every morning, every afternoon. And when sort of the polymer notes came out, it was so cool because you could literally put a $5 note in your pocket that was Velcroed, go for a surf, and on the way home, buy a Slurpee from 7-Eleven and a donut. Like, it was 100%. So cool.
How good was 50-cent donuts?
Was cashed there. Oh, dude, how good are those 7-Eleven donuts, man?
Now they're like $19.50.
Yeah. For us,
buy 5 of them.
We'd leave home at like 4:00, and as we'd go through past 7-Eleven at like 4:15 to go surfing, the donuts just got dropped off. So they'd be hot, piping jam donuts.
Oh, yeah.
Hit that, go surf for like, 4 hours and go home and sleep for the rest of the day until the afternoon. But,
pretty much.
Yeah, it was great to have that opportunity.
We didn't have 7-Eleven until like 4 years ago in WA. So we're still in 1990. We're still in 1995.
What's wrong with you guys over there? Man, at least your stadium's good. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
is your AFL team doing all right?
You're in Perth though, aren't you, Joel?
Yeah, Perth. Yeah, I'm a Freo supporter, so we didn't have a good day. We didn't have a good day yesterday.
Don't worry, I'm a Gold Coast Titans supporter.
Our last guest, Paul, he was from Geraldton.
Yeah,
Geraldton. Yeah,
Geraldton.
Yes.
So he was even sort of more out back whoop whoop than Gold Coast is compared to Sydney and Perth. So
yeah, you're so out there on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I back Queensland Rugby League, though.
Of course you do.
Full Queensland.
Of course you do. Everyone in the rest of the country follows it. You know why they do that, Joel? Because they're the best team in the world. That's why.
Exactly. Queensland.
Who's going to go after the New South Wales team? Jeez. All right. So, I want to do a very quick. So we have our normal questions that we ask. I'm going to ask you the rapid questions a little bit later, but I do have my own special quiz. It's a pop quiz, and I've got a random number of banknotes here, and I'm going to see if you can identify them.
Neil.
Yes.
Neil. We've talked to you about bullying the guest before. Okay, settle down.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to lose his credibility on our podcast. Don't worry. All 6 people that are watching it. But all right. Are you ready? I'll try and put them up to the screen properly. All right, let's do this. First one.
Spain.
Well done.
Wow.
Well done.
That's a very old Spanish note. Yeah.
Sorry, I should have probably prepared this before I started this.
Good one, Neil.
China.
I could have got that one, man.
You're on fire. Okay. All right, Peter. What about this one?
Okay, all right.
Peter can go this one.
Taiwan?
No. Come on, genius. No. Money bags?
Ooh, close. Hong Kong.
Wait, Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. Excellent. Well done.
Yeah.
And so they're the new ones. Actually, I've got the paper ones here as well. Are they swapping those out as well for the polymer?
Yeah. No, they're only the $10 notes only polymer for Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. The rest are made by the individual commercial banks.
Right. Okay. Let me see what I've got here.
Did the currency change in Hong Kong after the British occupation finished?
The only change that happened was they replaced the Queen's head with the Bohemia flower, the flower that's on the Hong Kong flag.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
But in Hong Kong, it's weird because the banknotes are done by Bank of China, Standard Chartered Bank. That's a Philippines note, by the way.
Nice.
And so with Hong Kong, for every Hong Kong dollar or every Hong Kong dollars they print, they've got to put 7.5 Hong Kong dollars. They've got to put $1 for every 7.5 Hong Kong dollars they print.
Oh, right.
Into the HK monetary authority.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's all right.
So the Hong Kong dollars fix the US dollar.
So in Hong Kong, you can use. Is it the Chinese? What's their currency? Is it the
yuan?
No, you use a Hong Kong dollar in Hong Kong.
Oh, so you can't use the other currency. There's just the one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they haven't.
No. But most people have digital wallets. They'll use their digital wallets from China.
Correct.
And they'll still convert to Hong Kong dollars anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. That makes sense.
There was a really good one that I had for you, and I can't find it now.
Yeah, sure, Neil.
Damn it! No, I did. It was good. I've got this one here.
All right, let's see. That's Japan. That's a very old Japanese note.
Yeah.
Where did you get that?
None of your business. I've collected them.
You collected them. Well, I lived in Japan for 5 years, Joel, and there's a really rare note over there, which I think is the 2,000 yen note.
Give me a second.
But that's the correct one, isn't it?
I've got it right here.
Because I never saw one in person, but I knew that they were out there.
I found one from a banknote dealer recently.
Oh, wow.
There you go. That's the 2,000 yen.
Wow.
There you go. I've never seen. I lived there for 5 years and I've never seen one.
And yeah, the only place that really has them in circulation right now is Okinawa.
Oh, okay.
Which is an interesting point. I don't know why, but Okinawa does have a decent stock of them, and Money Changer somehow managed to have a stock of them still overseas. Oh. They're still legal tender, but the Bank of Japan just stopped issuing them after about a few years.
All right. Okay. Last two.
I can't. England. That's England.
All right.
Yeah, that's Isaac Newton on the back of that.
And this is a flex. Are you ready?
All right, go on. Oh, yes, Zimbabwe.
You like that?
$100 trillion.
We can twin right here.
Yeah.
100 trillion.
I'm just going to walk away because I'm not in the trillionaire club.
Exactly. So. You're not a part of this club. I actually had a quick look at these online. There's actually a bit of value to them.
Yeah.
And this is like,
they're
pushing
$200 to $300 a pop.
It's never been circulated.
Yeah, you're probably looking at $200 to $250 for that.
I couldn't believe
crazy.
It. Anyway, I can't find the note, but it was actually an old Chinese note from. It was a rare note. I think it was from the 60s or 50s, and it was only in circulation for a short amount of time. But I can't find it, so don't worry about it. But anyway, congratulations, you passed my pop quiz.
Your favorite note is the $100 paper note, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. It is indeed. I've got it right here.
Nice.
So, was that the highest currency that the paper note went up to? There was nothing above that?
Yeah, that's it. So you had the 1, 2, 5, 10, and 66, the 5 and 67. The $50 note came out in 73.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me get the 50 out. I've got a 50 right here. There you go.
I think
the 50.
Oh, right nice.
There.
Yep.
And then the 100 came out in 84. But the thing that annoys me the most, whilst this is my favorite note, the fact that the 100 did not follow the rest of the series in terms of design is annoying.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think that my fascination with the note is the story behind Douglas Mawson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in terms of his expedition, his survival, and all that kind of thing. But also, a lot of people don't know who this guy is either, John Tebbit, who founded one of the most prevalent comets ever found in the world.
Right.
So, two amazing people. Everyone knows a lot about this guy. No one knows much about this guy.
Crazy.
And I think that's a bit sad. So, but it's a very minimalistic note, but it's my favorite.
Nice. Very nice. All right. So, in other big news, tell us about your TV appearance on Hard Quiz. Talk to us about it.
Oh, Hard Quiz. Yeah, that was a very, very, very long process. That was. So I was, Yeah, no. So this is the episode aired last year. So in 2021, I was with some work colleagues at a bar by the beach, and we're just chatting. And they're like, "Oh, Joel, you should be in hard quiz." It's like, why? It's like, you know about money. Like, just put a form in.
You know about.
So whilst they're all having beers and whatever,
became a really good idea.
I'm on the ABC website, like. Yeah, it became a good idea after a few years. Became a good idea. I'm on the ABC website and just going through this application form, which took an hour to fill out. I was like, what on earth is going on? What am I doing? But I was like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll go do this. And then, I left aside, done. And this is about March. October that year, so October 2021, I got the phone call from the producers saying, hey, can you do an online audition? Yep, sure, whatever. So I did 2 Zoom interviews. So I did the first Zoom interview, which was like a rapid fire quiz round. So it was like 40 multiple choice. No, it's like 40 multiple choice questions on Zoom.
Wow.
And there was like 50 of us in the room, all West Australian. And it was the hardest general knowledge quiz ever I've done.
Yeah, right.
Like, I'm a pro at quiz nights. I love quiz nights.
Yep.
There was a run. I had 8 wins in a row. I had once, which was insane.
That's a good run.
But it was a good run. But I knew I got my first 10 questions wrong. And it was science based. I was like, this is a joke.
Yeah.
But anyway, managed to pass through. Did another Zoom interview on the following Saturday. So it was about 16 of us that got whittled down, and we did like a sort of hard quiz style kind of thing. So like they put 4 of us together, answered questions, and then they went one by one to talk to us about an expert subject.
Oh,
but the funny thing was, there was a guy before me talking about polymer banknotes. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Because my expert topic was Australian currency. So I decided to one-up this guy. And I'm pretty sure this guy now follows me on LinkedIn and Instagram. So maybe be careful what I say. But
it's now an Indigo Montoya sort of situation. Yes.
Yeah. I'm Joel Kandiah. I know everything about Australian currency. Prepare to die, you know?
I love it.
Yeah, so I did that, and then they called me. They said, hold on for a while. We're going to talk to some people individually. Then I got in charge of we're going to line with the producer and the assistant producer, and they're like, Joel, we love your story. We know what you do with the history of money. Tell us about your story about growing up with it. Yep, cool. And then found out I made the contestant pool, and that was the end of 2021, October. I was like, okay, cool. But it doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to be on the show. Just like, we've got a pool of contestants. We're going to see what happens. Waiting till August 2022, right?
Yep.
And then it said, the phone call said, hey, can you come to Melbourne in October to film? Like, sweet. Yep, sure. I just changed jobs then, and my current workplace are really awesome and letting me go. And went there. I went to film. And to fly over. So ABC pays for your flights. They pay for your accommodation, which is really cool. The opposite, ABC Studios in South Bank in Melbourne. So you stay at the Quest, you walk across the road to the studios. Done.
Cool.
Easy. So I went there, met the showrunners who are awesome. Like the show does well, not because of Tom. Like Tom is a big element of it, but the crew behind it are some of the nicest people you ever meet. Nice. They're professional, but they're very friendly. They're personable. They're empathetic. They're whatever. They'll do everything for you in order for the show to succeed.
Cool.
So hello in dressing rooms, head safety briefing, all that kind of thing. But you don't know what subjects they are until you get onto the show, onto the podium.
Nice.
And you don't meet Tom until you're on the stage either.
Oh, really?
So they want Tom to interact with you naturally as you're meeting him for the first time.
Right.
So you have none of that. We did all that. I didn't put my hoodie on when I walked into the studio. That hoodie just came on at the very last minute because I didn't want people to know who it was. Yeah. You know, and I thought there's a chance that someone might know me. Luckily, there wasn't anyone that knew who I was from the contestants. Yeah. So we walked into the studio, went in there, and then my subject was Australian currency. Then there was Anne, she was pugs. And then there was, oh my God, I can't remember the other. So there was Monsters Inc. and then Frida Kahlo. And it's going to sound so bad because the Frida Kahlo and the Monsters Inc. people are my friends now.
Oh, cool.
And I can't remember both their names from the top of my head. This is so bad.
They won't be friends with you after this.
But,
you forgot their names.
No, they won't be friends with me after this, you know? And I do talk to them on occasion as well.
Cool.
Hannah was Frida Kahlo, and then Monsters Inc. was Megan. That's it, Megan.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, nice.
And yeah, so went through. And Tom's bantering with me and accusing me of having a monobrow, which I gave back for him for having lack of hair. And then
I love it.
I was like, don't come at me, Tom. I was like, really? I was thinking to myself, do I play the race card live on national TV? It's like, no, don't do it.
I love it.
No.
There's not someone more white than Tom Gleeson, really. He's
not really.
Super white.
I love it.
But yeah, so I was the first one that came on.
Yep.
And I had my first question stolen by Ange, which is annoying because I knew the answer and she stole it. The second one I got wrong because they asked me how many kookaburras are on this $20 note, right? So hold on, let me see. I've got $20 note right here. There you go, found it right. Yeah. So there's a $20 note right here. How many kookaburras are on it? Do you think?
Is there any on the other side?
No.
Right, how many? Tell me.
They just show me this picture.
Yep.
So you got one here, and you got one here in the script. So I said 2, right? And as I said the answer, I was like, oh no, I've forgotten. There's a third one with the UV feature. When you put a UV light on it, a third kookaburra comes up.
Wow. I suppose being the expert, you should know that.
So you know the scene from this. You know when the scene from The Simpsons where Lisa tells that she doesn't like Ralph
and the heart
and you see his heart breaking in two.
Yeah,
that was me. That was you. If you look at a replay, you can see my face just like.
Oh, I love it.
But then I got the next 3 right, which was fine.
Good.
They all did theirs. I didn't steal because I was just nervous as hell.
Yeah.
Then it was Tom's round, and then Tom's round was shampoo. I was like, how the hell am I going to talk about shampoo? I don't know nothing about shampoo. This is a joke. This is just rigged against me. But funny enough, I've got all 5 questions right on shampoo.
I love it. Well done.
I was like, this is... So what happened was, at the end of Tom's round, I was 40, Ange was 40, Megan was 45, Anna was 45. So what happens is one person, the lowest scorer gets eliminated, but because me and Ange had to... it's called a hard off. So Tom gives us a question and it's like true or false or a 50-50 type question. And Tom said, which was the most difficult play between Macbeth and Hamlet, which Shakespeare wrote. I was like, I don't know, I didn't pay attention in English class. Like, what's the hardest play to perform as a performer out of the 2?
It'd be Macbeth, wouldn't it?
Which, I don't know, that was a question or a thing, but whatever. And both of us were just stalling there, and then Ange went in and she said Hamlet. She got it right. And then I got eliminated, which was shit.
Oh,
I love it.
It's triggering a lot of emotion right now.
Okay, sorry, I shouldn't have asked the question. Apologies.
It's like therapy.
No, it's all good.
It's all good.
It was fun. Yeah. It was good. It was really, really good. Had a lot of fun. The producers were very happy.
Yeah.
Had a bit of chat with Tom at the end, had a photo, whatever, went back. Then the episode came out March 2023.
Okay.
So between the time I applied to the episode coming out was 2 years.
Wow.
2 years? That's crazy.
It's a lot of prep, hey?
2 years. 2 years. Yeah. And then episode came out was I looked good, I think, because I was just reacting to everything that was being said. I was laughing, whatever, so the camera just kept cutting to me all the time. It was like, far out. And then, I thought that was all good. Didn't win. It was sad. But then I get a phone call in June last year saying, hey, can you come back to Melbourne to do Battle of the Duds?
Oh, right.
So,
cool.
I went back in October last year.
Yep.
I filmed it, and you'll find out on October 9th.
Wow, nice.
We might have to have you back on after your episode.
Yeah, and we'll critique you on all the questions.
Yeah, I think
next time we'll get you a couch.
No, go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, we'll get you a couch so you can talk through it and relay all your emotions. Yeah.
That's a good idea. No.
Yeah, no. No, it's going to be a very good episode.
Oh, cool.
So, October 9th.
October 9th. Hard quiz.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, that's great.
It was actually meant to be last Wednesday, but then they had to reschedule everything, and so now I'm on the other side of the winter break. So it was meant to be last week, but now they push it back.
Oh, sweet.
5 episodes,
right.
Whatever it is.
Awesome,
no, we'll watch it for sure.
October 9th.
All right. So last but not least, we've got our rapid questions for every guest that we ask. Yep. Are you ready for this?
It's not going to be as bad as hard quiz.
Yeah. A good segue, though, from hard quiz to rapid questions.
Those still my answers.
All right. Are you ready to go? Okay.
Yeah,
Transformers or Turtles?
Turtles.
The biggest goat of all time.
Oh wow. Mike Hussey.
Wow.
Favorite
yeah.
Pokemon?
Hey, that's a great answer.
Favorite Pokemon? Blastoise.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Nice. You can stay. Favorite toy?
Favorite toy? Monopoly.
Cool. Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings?
Yep. Harry Potter, because I can do a Snape impersonation.
Oh, go on.
Go on.
All right. Harry Potter, you're not a celebrity. Do not disappoint me. Potter.
Oh, I love it. Have you? That was good. That was really good. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Have you seen the guy mess with his wife on TikTok doing those voices? Have you seen that? I think he is an Aussie guy. Is he Aussie?
I have. I'm sorry, Aussie guy. Aussie guy.
Oh right? Man, she looks like she's about to turn around and just slap him because he's doing all these funny voices.
Voldemort. What was the tape on his nose?
And he also does Oh, what is it, Pete? The Borat as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Yes.
Anyway,
yes.
sorry, I digress. Favorite D&D class that best? Oh, sorry. What D&D class best describes you?
I've never played
that's
D&D.
all right. No problems.
That's all right.
DC or Marvel? If you
Marvel.
could be in any universe, which universe would you choose?
Whichever Doctor Who is in.
Who'd win a fight, Scooby-Doo or Bluey?
Bluey, easy.
And last but not, and we're adding a question in because we're asking everyone this as well. Who was your favorite Batman?
All right. Oh wow, that's a tough one.
We asked the tough questions on this podcast.
Because I'm not really into Batman. I watch a lot of Batman movies, but I haven't
movies are fine.
Like the most recent one was really. Yeah, like the most recent one was really, really good. Like I love that one with I don't know the characters exactly, but the most recent one was really, really good.
With Robert Pattinson, with Cedric Diggory in it.
Oh.
Yes. I don't know why, but I just really loved it.
Get that up, you Neil.
Joel. Here I am, all excited of you coming on to our podcast, and now you've just killed it. Oh my God. I'm glad you're an expert on coins because you're not an expert on Batman, that's for sure. Oh, there you go. So they're the rapid questions. Hey, fantastic, mate. Thank you so much for coming on to our podcast. We really appreciate it. Can I just say again, you're on TikTok, History of Money. You have a website as well. The history is it history of .money?
Yeah, that's my website, but that's usually my online store. So sometimes I'll let people know when stocking stuff on there and not on and off.
Find you on Instagram or TikTok,
And then Instagram is that's it. Those are two places.
So Australia's leading coin expert.
And Hard Quiz.
October 9 Hard Quiz. Yeah, definitely plug that. 100%. But thank you so much, Joel, for coming onto the podcast.
Joel, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. It's been such a cool episode. We really appreciate it.
It's certainly been probably the most.
No, you guys are absolutely. You guys are absolutely amazing. So thank you for having me on.
We're definitely going to get you back on though for the Hard Quiz wrap up. That's for sure. So don't fail us. If you don't win, you're going to have problems when you get back onto our podcast. All right, make sure you win. And then we'll get you back on.
Hey, Neil, he's always allowed back on.
I'll turn back time and
Joel,
you're
always allowed on, man. We can just sit back and talk about Robert Pattinson, man. It's all good. So,
All right, I'm ending it. All right.
I won't talk about Twilight, though. No, don't talk about Twilight.
No.
We got to take the good with the bad. Sparkly vampires.
I've lost my way. You've said that now. I don't know what to do. I'm not even sure I can do another podcast after that answer. Anyway, guys, collectors of everything, experts of none, episode 33, the history of money. Thanks so much for coming on, Joel, and we'll see you again soon.
See you guys.
Thank you.